very nice to be back. I moved to New York, and I know. And you guys don't really, you guys don't get it out here. I mean, I lived here for 3 or 4 years, and it was 1 degree. 2 weeks ago, it was 1. It was 1. It was, and it was so cold that our pipes broke. They froze, and then they broke, and then our house got. I mean, it's that cold. And then I got here last night. We were in San Diego, and I'm watching the Today Show. And you know, Al Roker is like covering the news of the country, and he's like, you know, 2 inches of ice in some parts of the country, like just like on streets and roads, and like 2 inches of ice. And he's like, and here's what's happening in your neck of the woods. And it comes back to LA, and it goes to this lady. She's like, hi. It's so pretty out there today, guys. Let me walk you through it. And she's like, and then we have a little weather event coming later, and it's going to get down to about 50. And you guys are like, you have a scarf on. I remember living here, I'm like, oh, it's chilly out here. It's t-shirt weather. I froze a t-shirt. I dipped it in the sink and put it outside on the patio, and it froze in 2 minutes, and I sent a picture of it to my mom, and she's like, what am I looking? Is that a frozen t-shirt? Yeah. So all that to say, it's very nice to be back where it's normal feeling. And you have Mexican food. Yeah! Alright, this is a song I wrote about Mexican food. My parents are here tonight. Greg and Bobby. It's always a toss-up. I don't know. The first time I played Troubadour, my mom called me right before I was going on, near tears, and she's like, "Hey, is Inglewood near the venue?" And I'm like, no. I bought them GPS, I think twice now, or maybe. I think they're using it now. And my dad, you know, we have time. I'm gonna tell you my favorite story about my dad, and then I'll sing a song that I wrote for him. He's from Neosho, Kansas, a very small town in Kansas. And he's naive, like, you know, in a very sweet, endearing way, in a way of like, he doesn't really participate in the lingo that all of us have kind of agreed upon, like slang-wise. Just doesn't sign up for it, doesn't really pay attention to it. And the best example of that is, instead of calling his cat his pussycat, he just shortens it. With no idea what that word is. Doesn't dawn on him at all. And it's one of my favorite things about him. Because he took a trip. I've told this story before. He took a trip with my mom for a weekend, and I called him when they were on their way back. I'm like, "Hey Dad, how was the trip?" And he's like, "You know, it was good. We had a great time. Great time. I gotta tell you though, I miss my pussy." And I'm like on the phone going, "Oh my God. Tell me more." And he kept going. It was like a gift that kept giving. He's like, "Well, you know, I mean, I get used to my pussy, you know. And when the day ends, when our activities end, I like coming home to the pussy. And I like the pussy on the couch. I like the pussy right next to me." And I'm like, "Yes. No." And he repeats the same conversations with me and my sister, you know. So he called my sister next, and I knew he was going to, and I waited for a little while, and then I called her. I'm like, hey, talk to Dad? She's like, yep. Talk about his pussy? Yep. Where are you, Dad? Are you embarrassed yet? He's incapable of being embarrassed, so he doesn't care. He's like, I still don't know what the fuck they're talking about. What the hell is a pussy? My cat. More on that later. Thank you. And the reason behind the record is, you know, a lot of my songs have changed over the years, and my butt hanging out. A lot of my songs have changed over the years for different reasons, really. I mean, sometimes I add like 30 or 40 tracks to a song in the studio, and then when I perform live, sometimes it'll just be me and piano. So the songs change as a result. Other times the song meanings have changed because I've changed, and I perform them differently. Anyway, I kept getting requests to perform these new versions of the old songs, and so I finally did it. And I didn't realize, I mean, it's when you do them all together in one evening, we didn't realize it when we were practicing. This is Colette Alexander, by the way, everybody. We didn't realize, because we'd practice a song and then take a break and then practice another song, and it was all kind of cut up, and then we played them all together for the first time last night in San Diego. And in between the two shows, we were backstage. I'm like, man, this is a really sad show. Because it turns out that all the songs that I've redone are the saddest ones, and so it's like a Greg Laswell saddest hits. But I have a idea that maybe you know what you're getting in for. So we're going to be in this together tonight. We're going to make it through. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. If you need to get drunk tonight and text your ex, that's totally fine. You want me to drunk text your ex from the stage? I'll do it. We're doing all sorts of shit tonight. It's going to get crazy. This is my last song. Thank you very much. Here's a new version of the new version that's on the record. I can't help myself, I just keep doing it. That last one was come again?
She's fucking awesome.
She is awesome, she is. It's a cello. I remember my first beer. I remember it. What was I saying?
The new version.
Oh, here's a new version of a new version. Yeah, whatever. That threw me. Excellent violin playing. Alright, here we go.
It's a great fiddle.
Loose ends tangle down and then take flight. never tie me down. Loose ends tangle down and then take flight, but never tie me down, never tie me down. Off I go where I fall, is where I land. Off I go where I fall, is where I land. So here's a new, well, it's an old song, but it's a new version. I'm not gonna fall down today. Instead I will buckle my knees and sway. I was gonna play that cello part and sing it at the same time, but I thought I'd let her play it.
Violin.
Did I say violin? Oh, no, I didn't say. What do you guys think? I'll do a couple in a row. This one is, this is a funny story. This happened recently. We were sport watching Damages on Netflix, like 8 in a row, you know, that whole thing. And I'd forgotten that one of my songs was in the show, because it was, you know, it's been like five seasons or 6 seasons, and we're on season 1. And so I'm sitting there, and the song comes on, and it's funny. It's I need to check this. I need to look into this more. But my reaction inside my head was, oh God, this song. Who is this? And that was my reaction. Like, oh God, this song. Who is this? And right when I said that, I didn't say it out loud, but I was about to. And then Ingrid's like, hey, this is your song. I think it's like self-loathing involved or something, I don't know. But this is, I'll stop talking. I'll sing it for you guys. Does anyone have any questions or anything?
Where's Ingrid?
She's coming back. Cello player's coming back. Hey, let's keep the intention on Friday. Hey, thank you so much for coming. I've been away for a while. I took a year off, so thank you. I hear often that it's one of the things that I hear more than anything else when I'm finished with a show or online on Twitter or Facebook or whatever it may be. One of my songs has helped someone get through a rough time or find a place. It's a byproduct of what I do, and I certainly don't take it for granted. And this record was very nostalgic for me because obviously it was a trip down memory lane of all my records, and I couldn't help but to be introspective about my path throughout the last. It's been 8 years since my first record. It's kind of weird, but it forced me to really kind of think about the choices that I've made along the way, and good and bad, and the mistakes and the highs and the lows. That's ridiculous. And at the end of the day, I came up with, and I said this last night in San Diego and LA, more than any other city on this tour, these two towns are excuse me, my home base of where I really, where I learned to cut my, I cut my teeth here, and I learned how to perform, and I learned how to fail with performing, and I learned how to not take myself. So I mean, the audience that I found here and at this Hotel Cafe was just a very welcoming place to kind of come into my own after what I had been through. So thank you. Thank you very much. Good enough. I wish you would dance. All right. This song, this will be our last one. I mean, maybe, you know. This one is a new one. This is one of the ones that hadn't had a chance to change on its own yet, but it was on my last record, and I liked it a lot, and so I changed it myself and put it on this one. And, for each record of mine, there's always a few songs that I think are going to be, that people are really going to like, and all the time, those are the songs that no one really cares for. So this record was my chance to give this one its second chance, and to give December its second chance because it was cut from the first record. So here it is again. Damn it. Thank you. So awkward, you can see me right there. Oh, I fucked up I did all this shit to my keyboard. Hold on, let me get back to normal. I don't know where she is.
I'm right here.
Any other questions? I'll take questions. Let's do some questions.
How's Chef?
Is that you again? Someone give her another beer. Oh. What's my favorite song off Landline? Oh, Landline, I think, yeah. I usually name my record after my favorite song. No, I don't. I'd never done that before in my life. Only once. Any other questions?
Will you be my Valentine?
What's that?
Do you remember I wrote you on Facebook?
Oh yeah, okay. Did you ask me if I was gonna come out after the show? That was you. Okay. And I said yes. And then you sent me like, hey man, here's fucking proof that you said you're gonna come out. And you sent me like a screenshot of my reply to you. Yeah. Oh, so yes, I'll see you guys after the show. Any other questions, or should I play something? This is more fun to me, but
Conversation.
Thank you, Alexander. Can't wait to come back.
So Alexander said, I'm so excited to see you perform in LA next year. You are amazing. Thank you very much. And I said, thank you, Alexander. Can't wait to come back west. See you then. I wish the people that had sent me hate mail are here, but they're not here because they hate me. But I could read those out loud. Those are even better. What? Oh, all right. One more question. What's an example of what? What's my example of what? Oh, an example of hate. I think I've told this story before. Okay, I'll tell it real quick and then I'll play a song because I think that's what you guys wanted to come here for. Yeah, I know I've told this story. story in LA. It's it was back in MySpace days, and I got an email, and the subject line was all caps, "Fuck you." That was the And so I thought, yeah, maybe it's when I open it, it'll be like, "Fuck you, you're so good." But it was not that at all. And he went on and on and on. It was very well written, 3 paragraphs, like an intro, a body, and a conclusion of like how much he hated my cover of "Girl Just Wanna Have Fun." Yeah, he's like, "I hate this song. You stole all the joy out of it. I rue the day that you woke up and had." I'll never forget this sentence. "I rue the day that you woke up and had the idea to cover this song." And at the time they were playing it at AMC movie theaters, and he worked at AMC movie theaters, and he's like, "They play that fucking song 6 times during my shift. I hate it." So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna write this guy back. So I wrote him back. I'm like, "Hey man, sorry that you work at a place that it plays this song 6 times a day. I think I would probably hate it too if that happened to me. So sorry, thanks for the note. GL." And I press send, and he emailed me back, and he's like, "Hey man, I think it's pretty cool that you wrote me back." It's all good. And we're pals. And then like he wrote me again, he's like, "Hey man, listen to the rest of your shit, or rest of your stuff, it's not all shit." I'm like, "Thanks man," you know. And we like became pals. It was so bizarre to think that I almost didn't write him back. Don't write me hate mail tonight. I'll email, like, Alexander is proof. I'll write you back if you say something nice. She's coming back. I'll do a song and then we'll move on. Oh, and won't you sweet me? I love doing covers. I couldn't help myself on this last record, so here's a new cover for you. It's by Sparkle Horse originally. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us this evening. It's been very nice to be back. Thanks for sticking in there with us for all the Laswell Saddest hits. Well, I've done a happy song for me. Thank you very much. I hope to see you very soon.